Utie oha echi ponkno. Needs FM.
Is it fair for anybody to suggest, say, your previous relationship with Jean Mensah at IEA must have bled your judgment in the current assessment of ECNR?
Oh, no, never, not at all. I mean, I don't think, come on, that's not even an issue. If we read all our periodicals, our writings, I mean, look, for the EC to have gotten to the position it got, that the companies that were in contention to provide the new machines, which we were against anyway, we didn't have favorite at all. For them to suggest that one of the companies was less corrupt, and because the other company, the Smartmatic, was not preferred because they've been cited for an issue in the Philippines, was one of the lowest moments I thought when it comes to good governance as a decision maker in preferring a service provider, was the lowest moment for our analysis. Sure. The Telus company had been cited in South Africa, the current case against Jacob Zuma. They were cited for bribing Jacob Zuma. They were cited for bribing an electoral official in Benin. They were cited for disrupting issues in, I think, Lithuania, and so they were being found. I think they were fined some millions of dollars. They had so many issues against them. For the EC to submit, say, they preferred this company to the British company, which had no corruption issue against them, made me really sad that as a CSO leader who had been at the helm at the most important, influential think tank in the country, for her to have supervised this symbolic process, this rigged process, was for me a non-starter.
You are describing the procurement process as symbolic and rigged, but not necessarily the election.
No. Nobody is saying the elections were rigged. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is that you're asking me whether my previous relations with Jean may have been the reason. And I'm saying no, not at all. I was rather surprised that the rather meticulous Jean Mensah that I used to work with, the rather no-nonsense Jean Mensah that I used to work with, could supervise a procurement system that was as rigged, symbolic, and downright incompetent like the way she did with the
But is it likely the rigged and shambolic, incompetent processes at the procurement level, did it impact negatively, adversely on a process?
Well, I'm not ready to give them the benefit of the doubt because of the way they've conducted themselves right from the procurement up onto the registration process. So I can't make that particular call. I don't think that until we see all the evidence that the NDC claims it has, unfortunately, I'm not ready. I can't make that conclusive remark. I don't think that the EC wanted or had intended to rig any elections. I don't think so. But their conduct in the run-up to the elections makes me very, 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 very ambivalent to say yes or no, that their actions may have inadvertently probably led to some infractions. I don't think they rigged the elections at all. But their behavior up until this leaves a lot to be desired.
Yanni Franklin Cudjoe, or your president of Imani Africa, that leading think tank, influential think tank, Ghana, and editing Komo, days ahead of the elections, during the elections, and then we will look at after the elections. Now, further comments on EU, European Union saying your coalition process was less transparent. Perhaps let's get a direct quotation of what the EU report said, and then we could possibly have further comments from you. And this is the direct quotation. Coalition process was less well organized and less transparent, often due to a lack of detailed procedures, inadequate facilities, and overcrowding, which at times led to agents and observers not having a clear view of the procedures and filing in of result forms or the filling in of result forms. What do you make of this direct quotation from the EU?
It goes to tell you how shambolic the whole exercise had been. The so-called super competent EC, the so-called super competent machines, the so-called super competent LI, CI that they got with the acquires of the Supreme Court was clearly staring in our face. And what is staring in our face right now is a body that was incompetent, that was given a lot of discretionary powers, whose results we are witnessing right now. I'm happy it is not the Ghanaian who is saying this, but the EU observers who have said it. Did you see this during Charlotte's time? Did you hear this during Charlotte's time?
And you would agree coalition is at the heart of the whole election process.
Exactly. So when I tell you Charlotte was kicking or kikam, was elegant, was much better, these are some of the reasons.
Needs FM.